What if celebrating Christmas was illegal? While much of the world is decking the halls and singing carols, there are places where Christmas is banned, restricted, or simply not celebrated. In today's video, we'll explore the fascinating reality of countries where Christmas either isn't culturally relevant or outright forbidden, and uncover the reasons behind this global diversity. Countries with bans and restrictions, a closer look. Let's start with the most extreme cases, countries with outright bans or severe restrictions on Christmas celebrations. North Korea is a prime example. Under its strict authoritarian regime, religious freedom is highly limited, and Christmas, seen as a Western influence, is completely banned. Public displays of religious symbols are forbidden, and citizens are even encouraged to celebrate the birthdays of the country's leaders instead. Imagine living in a place where Christmas is outlawed. In North Korea, less than 1% of the population identifies as Christian, and those who practice any religion must do so in secret, at great personal risk. Global organizations like Open Doors USA rank North Korea among the worst persecutors of Christians in the world, highlighting its severe restrictions on religious freedom. In some Islamic-majority countries like Saudi Arabia and Somalia, public Christmas celebrations are also not permitted. These nations follow Islamic traditions where Christmas doesn't align with their cultural or religious practices. Public decorations or celebrations are virtually unseen, but expatriate communities may still find ways to celebrate privately, cherishing their holiday customs. Interestingly, in Saudi Arabia, although public celebrations are prohibited, in recent years, limited commercial Christmas decorations have appeared in some high-end establishments and expat-oriented areas. However, this remains controversial and far from widespread acceptance. Brunei went even further in 2015, implementing a strict ban on public Christmas celebrations, with penalties for violators. This was done in an effort to preserve Islamic values, showcasing how deeply religious beliefs shape national policies. Countries where Christmas isn't culturally relevant. Now, let's talk about places where Christmas isn't banned, but it simply doesn't hold much cultural significance. In many parts of Asia, especially in countries with large Buddhist or Hindu populations, Christmas is more of a commercial event rather than a cultural or religious one. For example, in China, Christmas isn't officially banned, but public celebrations are actively discouraged. There are officially recognized Christian churches in China, but religious practices, even within these sanctioned spaces, are still heavily monitored and controlled by the government. With a Christian population of just 5%, most Christmas celebrations are reserved for small private gatherings rather than public events. This 5%, however, represents a significant number of people given China's vast population. In Israel, Christmas isn't a national holiday, although it's celebrated by Christian communities within the country. During the same period, Hanukkah, a Jewish holiday, takes the spotlight, celebrated with candle lighting, family gatherings, and delicious foods. Reasons, perspectives, and cultural equivalents. So, what are the reasons behind these varying approaches to Christmas? They often stem from a mix of political, religious, and cultural influences. In some places, there's a deliberate effort to preserve cultural identity against perceived Western influence. Others maintain different religious calendars. Take Iran, for example, where the winter solstice, known as Yalda Night, is a beloved tradition celebrated with family gatherings, poetry, and feasting, much like other global winter celebrations. Imagine traveling to one of these countries during the holiday season. You might miss the familiar Christmas sights and sounds, but you'd gain something far more valuable, a first-hand glimpse into unique cultural expressions. Even in countries where Christmas isn't a major holiday, it may appear in unusual ways. In Japan, for example, Christmas is mainly a commercial event, with many shopping malls decorated for the occasion. The quirky tradition of eating KFC on Christmas Day actually originated from a successful marketing campaign by KFC Japan in the 1970s, turning fried chicken into the traditional Christmas meal. This quirky tradition raises interesting questions about cultural appropriation versus adaptation. how cultures adopt and reinterpret foreign traditions, a discussion that continues today. Deep dive into Christmas traditions, or the lack thereof, highlights the incredible diversity of cultures around the world. While Christmas is a cherished holiday for many, not everyone shares in these same celebrations. And that's perfectly okay. Understanding these differences fosters respect and cultural sensitivity.